gentlemen, what you gonna do, brother? Oh, yeah! Woo! What? If you smell what the rock...
You got the wrong guy. I'm the dude, man.
Welcome, Saturday night, Facebook. Welcome to Around the Turnbuckle. My name is the Big Alboski. His name is Professor Keith, as always. Joining us live is the urban legend. How you doing, my friend?
Doing good, man. Just chilling.
This week in wrestling, as you guys know, December 2nd, a legend was lost. Pat Patterson. And I don't want to mean to start things on a somber note, but I think it's disrespectful not to. Pat Patterson meant a lot to this business in almost every shape and form, not only as a performer back in the day, but also later on in life, leading many superstars and careers throughout WWE history. They honored him on every show this week, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and we're going to honor him for the first couple seconds here. Our hearts are with the families. Our hearts are with the all the superstars who have felt a loss this week, a huge loss. Keith, I'll let you say whatever you want to say about Pat Patterson before we move on to Mr. Legend.
Yes, I mean, Pat Patterson, it's no lie and it's no exaggeration to say that the WWE would not exist right now in its present form without Pat Patterson. Pat Patterson was Vince's right-hand man during the initial expansion. Pat was in a lot of booking meetings. Pat was an agent, worked with countless superstars. Pat Patterson booked hold for hold the match between Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 6. That was all Pat Patterson. Yeah. Pat Patterson created the Royal Rumble. We would not have the Royal Rumble without Pat Patterson. His contributions are many, are countless, are legendary. Pat was one of those guys, if you needed a place to stay, Pat would open his doors to you. His longtime partner cut a lot of the wrestlers' hair. And the one thing that does console me now is that Pat and Louie are reunited now, finally. So my heart goes out to Pat Patterson's family, his friends, his fans. We're all grieving this week. Just somebody that was really a quiet giant within the wrestling business.
Absolutely. Mr. Legend, you have any words to say on Pat Patterson?
I mean, pretty much. I will say he was a trailblazer, an innovator. I never had the chance to meet Pat, but I know, what he meant to the wrestling industry and people within the industry. I know he'll be really missed, and the only thing we can do is just keep making him proud by, evolving what he started. So, I want to thank Pat for all his innovative ideas and contribution to the business, and we'll see each other again one day.
Absolutely. Now, the purpose that we're here, and conspicuous by his absence,
again,
is our old pal Prince Shongo. May I ask you, sir, how have you been since the last time we've seen you? And do you have any words for Mr. Shongo in his absence?
Well, it seems like every time he calls me out and I answer, he's not there. So let me tell you guys something. It don't matter what he says. He can talk all the shit he wants. He can come up with all the stupid-ass riddles he wants. Nothing he says tonight makes a damn, nothing he says tonight matters to me, because I know he had 2 chances to show up and he didn't show up for either one of them.
Yeah, it's unlike him. I'm not making excuses. I'm not. Huh?
Unlike Shongo, he's done it twice. Seems like a bitch to me.
Well, I mean, that's your opinion, but like I said, I'm not going to sit out here and make excuses for him. Obviously, when I book a guest, if that guest does not show up, it does affect us. It does irritate us to an extent, but I'm sure there's a good reason behind it. Maybe he's running late. This program is an hour long, so maybe he'll drop in. He just couldn't make it by 6 o'clock.
Wouldn't be the first time we had a run-in.
We've had some run-ins. Yeah, I mean, actually, you and Shongo saved our butts one night when we had a cancellation, and you both popped in there. And I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys being friends of the show. And I've seen you've been busy lately, even though there's no wrestling going on. I mean, you're still staying in tremendous shape. You've been making appearances. You're building. You're still building your brand. You're still working. Always working.
I know why Shongo didn't show up. Listen, I don't know if you heard about this. There was a tasty cake robbery. Somebody was robbing the tasty cakes with the cream cakes, the butter cakes, the Twinkies. That was Shongo. Nowhere to be found. Too big. That's what he's doing.
Wow.
He's loading the truck with the tasty cakes and he's making his getaway. That's why he's late.
I hear you. Like I said, I got nothing for you there. So what have you been up to lately?
Working, moving stuff into my new house. Doing what I gotta do.
And there's nothing in the foreseeable future for you as far as performance goes. There's no shows because I do see some shows. Yes, there's been like Keith and I were supposed to go to some local shows here in Pennsylvania, but there's been some shows that they're actually trying to get done in Jersey, limited crowds, things like that. Have you heard anything?
Good luck with that. I think those are going to wind up canceled sooner rather than later. Jersey's positivity rate is insane right now.
JT Funk, what's up, fellas?
What up, bro? Look, I respect most of them want to perform in pandemic, but for my health, for my family, it's absolutely not worth performing for 11 people. I'm not catching COVID for the fucking month so they can enjoy the show.
Sure.
Like, I'm absolutely not going to perform until this blows over, until I see concerts being held, until I see mass crowd gatherings. I'm not performing. It ain't worth it.
I don't blame you at all, but I mean, like I said, I've seen you on social media. You still stay active. You obviously have a tremendous work ethic. You still stay in fabulous shape. So when the time does come, you're ready to go.
When the time comes, I'm going to be everywhere.
All right, so let's talk about something. We don't know if Shongo is going to come on or not. So let's talk about something that maybe the fans can talk about. We do have a pay-per-view tomorrow, Keith. I don't know if you've been keeping up on your NXT, but NXT TakeOver War Games, which is what's last year's was. I'm wearing my Undisputed Era T-shirt right now because last year's was really fun for me. I missed that old WCW double cage, double ring scenario going on there. And this year's card, I just spent the past couple days getting caught up on NXT, and it looks like a pretty good card. Again, the Undisputed Era is in there again against Pete Dunne, Pat McAfee, Orny Lorcan. Am I saying that right? And Danny Burke. So, I mean, I know you don't know much about it, but I mean, I figure, hopefully if we buy some time, maybe Shongo will show up late and we'll get this going. But in the meantime, NXT War Games is this Sunday at 7 o'clock. Have you been watching it? Urban Legend, have you been watching any wrestling lately?
Honestly, I've just watching old school wrestling. Today's product is painful for me. Yeah, NXT has some good stuff, but it's just been painful for me to even watch. So I have not been keeping up to date with wrestling.
Well, you're saying you're right up Keith's alley with painful to watch. You know what I mean?
It's excruciating.
Yeah.
I mean, can you elaborate on that? Can you tell, like, what do you think the problem is? Because I know what Keith's answer is, but what do you think the problem is?
The problem is they recycle so much of the same shit, but they try to redo it, and it's worse than when it was originally done. And sometimes they stretch out a storyline to where you can't get no payoff or nothing. They go from point A to point D without being C. Like, the only intriguing storyline that I'm actually invested in right now is Randy Orton and The Fiend, and they already fucked that up. Because, look, one thing that I noticed about that angle is Alexa Bliss looked like she was almost comfortable. She looked like she wanted to lay a kiss on Orton. Like, look, that's The Fiend's property. So, personally, I would have liked to see a little bit more fight. A little bit more Alexa being scared, like, oh shit, like, get him away from me. But they look like they just got tied the knot and got married. It's like there's certain things that they does that don't make no sense. I guess the Roman Reigns and Uso story. I've already like lost interest in it because
Really?
I was invested up until the Hell in a Cell. If if I was booking this, I would have Jimmy return. I think Jimmy's the one that's hurt because Jay's the one working.
Yeah,
Jimmy
Jamie
would come back,
working. Yes.
and then maybe I would have the brothers turn on each other or something. But
Okay.
there's no suspense. I'm just every storyline they do is just like, okay, they got something. Okay, what are they doing now? And then, damn, all that build up for that. I don't know. I don't want to blame it on the COVID or no crowds, but wherever is going with these storylines, they just need to just go because I can't watch it.
Keith, how do you feel about that? Roman Reigns and Uso and all that.
I mean, Roman is doing the best work of his career right now. He really has found another gear. I think it's the usual problem, like Urban says. It's creative is just not very creative. And either it goes too fast or it goes too long or they skip parts. And I think another problem, like he says, they recycle. And yes, wrestling is always recycled, but they tend to go back to like the Attitude Era and go, well, work in the Attitude Era, recycle it and redo it for PG. And the problem with that is when wrestling used to recycle, you were recycling with, okay, that happened in Oklahoma and it drew a ton of money. We're over here in Kansas City. Nobody's seen what happened in Oklahoma. So when we recycle it, it's going to look new as fuck. And even if we do it again, we're smart enough to not do it for 5, 10, whatever years. So the audience is kind of turned over a little bit and it'll work again. Whereas I feel like WWE, because it's national, because they do it too often. I mean, there are times where you look at a story they're doing and they're like, oh my God, you did that 2 years ago. What, you think we forgot 2 years ago? Like, it's silly, and it does a massive disservice to the talent because, like everybody said, they've probably got the best, most athletic roster that anybody has ever had in the history of the business. And yet you have nothing for these guys to do, and it makes me feel bad because I see guys doing these like crazy over-the-top bumps or stuff like this, and it's like nobody cares because nobody's invested in you or in your story, so you're just hurting yourself for nothing, really.
I hate to say it, but I think Impact is beating AEW and WWE in terms of storylines. That says a lot.
Yeah.
Impact storyline. You mean Impact storylines or AEW's? Like, because they've kind of joined forces right now, haven't they?
Impact, kind of. I don't know how long that's going to last, but Impact and
that seems like a short-term deal.
Impact got better storylines than AEW and WWE. Even AEW got recyclable shit. They're trying to imitate WWE way too much, and it blows up in the face because they're good, but they're not, quite on the level as WWE.
Well, how'd you feel about seeing Sting? I mean, did you see Sting's return?
I saw and I fell asleep, honestly.
So yeah, Impact. I don't know how you're right. I don't know how long that's going to last because, but I did see Impact already advertising that Kenny Omega is going to be on Impact on the next episode of Impact.
They might be onto something there. They might be onto something there.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Keith, do you know how long? I mean, how long this is going to last? Is this just like a marriage, like a temporary thing?
I mean, I would imagine it's some kind of a marriage of convenience where somebody thinks they're going to get something out of it. Because I know, obviously, some of our friends that are conspiracy minded and stuff are already like, oh, this might be AEW buying Impact. And I'm kind of like, I don't see it because I think there's too many headaches in it for AEW to do it. And also, Impact exists because its parent company wants them for content. Originally for their fight, this is like Fight TV that owns Impact. And what I've heard, that's literally it. And that makes sense to me. It does. That it's just going to be a quick thing to try to maybe give Impact a little bit of a boost. Because Impact is where it is television-wise right now because their parent company owns that television network. Like Impact.
This is why I need to get signed. Because I hate to be the person to rip the nipples out of baby's mouth. But no matter who we're talking about, wrestling as a whole is recyclable and it's not interesting.
They
And it's
need
not.
you. I'm not. I'm not going to argue with that. I'm not going to. Your money, man. I've said it from day one. Your money.
And it's not the talent's fault. It's what they're given. But they need to sign someone like me, someone who has ideas. They can help everybody, not just me.
I just got word that we're going to be joined. In case you just joined us and you're like, "Where the hell's Prince Shongo?" We're going to be joined by him in a matter of minutes. So,
Is that why your phone is dinging over there?
Don't matter where I
yeah,
go.
yeah. So yeah, he said 2 or 3 minutes tops. So if you want one more last word in before he comes on here, man, it's all you.
Hey, I'm gonna wait till this little bitch gets on here because time's limited and he wants his hour of fame. Like, okay, I'm gonna let him talk because the Lord knows what he gotta say. It's not gonna be important anyways. Let's just see what he gotta say.
I'm telling you, Keith, he could be this just like character. Like he could drop right into I don't know. Would you see him more as like an AEW guy coming in? I mean, like he's got that Mayweather vibe about him. You know what I'm talking about? Like they need
I
something.
think he could be. I think he could be successful anywhere. But like he says, here's a guy that, and this is one of my points too. You have a guy that coming in legend. He knows who he is. He knows what he needs to do. He has ideas. There you go. And he has ideas. So you just need to be receptive. And I mean, I'm not saying, oh, every idea legend has is great. I'm sure you would admit, for maybe every 3 good ideas, you maybe have one that wouldn't pan out. But that's all of us. But the current state of things now, it seems like the top brass just comes in and goes, I know everything. We don't need to listen to you. We don't need to listen to talents. But you do, because the talents know themselves. Maybe they don't have an idea for every single person on the roster, but damn sure they got some ideas for themselves. You're telling me all of that's worthless? Come on.
No.
I know my worth, man.
Yeah, AEW's problem, as you and I have both agreed upon many times, is that they have too many hands in the basket. You need to have one guy steering the ship, and he's got to be a guy that knows what he's doing as far as booking goes. Now, who is that guy? I don't know. I'm not going to throw out names like Eric Bischoff. We're going to get WCW 2.0. Right. We're going to get WCW 2.0. You know what I mean?
Which we kind of have now because you can see where Cody tries to do stuff that emulates his father, and I can understand paying tribute and all that, but again, I've always said one of the problems to me with AEW is it doesn't always feel like it's the same show.
He's
and that
trying
can
to
be
be
happening in the same
Cody,
2 hours.
Cody's trying too much. And look, Cody trying to be like Jeff Jarrett too much. Here's the deal. Cody, lost a lot of respect for my man because I have been calling this guy out for months and months and months. Balls are so small, he just ignores me. It's all good. Keep giving these opportunities to these little, pepperoni peasants I ain't never heard of, and keep ducking me. It's all good. With the exception of Warhorse or whatever his name is, I've heard of him.
Yeah, well, I mean, he got his 5 seconds of fame, right?
Yeah,
that's all they ever get. Because they're not me.
True. I agree. We can't disagree, and that's not being biased because you're sitting here. It's true. I've seen you work. I've seen what you could bring to the table, and I think you've just scratched the surface.
I'm gonna put this guy over. The only guy that I know that can hang with me in the ring, that can maybe hang with me on the microphone is Leo Rush. That's it. Maybe. That's a big maybe.
Yeah, well, are they even using him right now, Keith? Leo Rush?
He's worked for Blake Christian a bunch.
What?
Yeah.
So he's been working Blake Christian for some of these shows. I can't remember what shows it was, but he's been getting some jobs.
Yeah, I've been hearing his name here and there.
Well, while we're still waiting for Prince Shongo to show up, Let me get some. Let me get some
5
quick.
minutes ago.
Yeah, I know he said that 5 minutes ago. Let me get some quick information out of the way. That scroll that everybody's been seeing at the bottom of the screen. Attention around the turnbuckle fans. In January 2021, we're making the move from streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube to strictly YouTube, as is all the shows on 2M1L Media, including Ciphered Knowledge with Chrissy, which is Sundays at 8 o'clock. Spitting with Spitter, which is Wednesdays at 8 o'clock. Home Team Sports, which is Tuesdays at 6. And Keith and I are on every Saturday and Sunday at 6. But keep an eye out because during the holiday season, we might miss a couple Saturdays in there. TJ's checking in. What's up, my brother? Shongo is packing away the tasty cakes. I think
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty sure that's what Legend said earlier. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Hey, them butter pecan ones too. Packing up.
they got butterscotch crimpets, and I used to work for Tasty Cake. That's the funny part.
Yes.
Peanut butter candy cakes. Keith, we gotta
That's when
get
you work for Tasty Cake. You'd hook us up.
Keith. I used to work for them. I work for hers now.
I know. I miss you working for Tasty Cake.
Oh, that. Okay, I got you.
If I need some tasty cakes, I'll hit him up.
Well, if Shongo has any affiliation with Tasty Cake, he should get a sponsor, right, Keith?
You know he does. You saw his name on the camera. I mean, he got some sort of connection.
Hot damn. He's working. We know that, Tiffany. The problem is that he did just text me like 10 minutes ago and said I'll be there in 2 minutes. So I mean, we're sitting here talking to ourselves and twiddling our thumbs and looking at
he's working that jawline and them gums, eating them fucking tasty cakes. He's working on it.
Oh my
God damn. I'm pretty sure he's watching and listening. So I mean, I'm guessing that how this show works is usually when we have a guest on, they pop up on my backstage area, so to speak, and he is not there. It's not like I'm just like leaving him back there and saying fuck him and just running our mouths. It's not happening. He's just not here.
Well, as soon as T-Pain gets on here and get the ball rolling,
You got it. Yeah. So, you said you've been watching a lot of old school stuff to keep some wrestling in your, what I mean? What kind of old school stuff are we talking?
I'm talking old school like Gotts and Hankensmith.
Wow.
Old school. Where tag wrestling was first invented was Hankensmith and Gotts. And those who don't know Hankensmith and Gotts, they're the reason why the Calling Out with tie-up was even a thing.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you're talking. I mean, you're being a student of the game. Then I mean, you're like
I'm talking like 1920s. I'm a student of the game. I'm not talking Triple H. If I'm in a profession, I know from the very beginning.
That's commendable. I mean, I spent this morning watching The Undertaker on Stone Cold Steve Austin's Broken Skull Sessions Part 2.
Yeah, I need to watch that, by the way.
Yeah, that was a really, really good show.
The second part was better than the first.
I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but there's not a lot of time where I get teary-eyed, but I think it was the Edge and it might have been the Edge and Cena one that got me. I think it was Edge and Cena. But that there's a couple on the Chronicles is like, oh man. Oh, and then the one that we're talking about when Rey Mysterio was talking about Eddie, that was really rough too.
Yeah.
What really got to me was when he was talking about the entire. He went into more depth, more than he ever has, about the Hell in a Cell match with Mick Foley, and the feelings, the emotions he was having after he threw him off, the feelings and emotions he was having when he put him through the top of the cage, like that wasn't supposed to happen.
I asked Mick about that because I met Mick at least 4 times.
Oh my God.
Twice in TNA, once in a signing. He was booked on a VCW show that I was booked on. And what was really special before Dickhead gets on there and ruins his vibe, what was really special about that was actually I saved a spot from the locker room. He sat right next to me. But he introduced to me. He's like, "Hey, what's up, kid? What's your name?" I'm like, "My name's Urban." He's like, "No, what's your work name?" Urban Legend. So we talked for about 20 minutes, and I was like, "Hey, man, I got a question." I was like, "What was it like to break through that cell twice?" And he said, "It hurt." I'm like, "I know it hurt. But like, what were you feeling?" He's like, "Honestly, I wasn't. I felt like I was floating on a cloud." So I mean, it was cool talking to him. And then I got his cell, but I never really asked him too much. But he took a liking to me because I was like one of the few in the locker room to talk to him. I said, "Hey man, can you watch some of my match?" I think that was the match I with Colby Carino. Um, and he told me some of the stuff I need to work on, but he said, your gear's awesome, your music's good, you got a good look, you got a future here. So I've always appreciated Mick for being honest with me. That was pretty dope.
Yeah, and one of the things I picked up also, Keith, on the Taker thing was that he said Austin asked him, "What do you want your legacy to be?" And the first words out of his mouth were what he knows that he has, which is respect from his peers.
Mhm.
That's all anybody really should want is respect. Don't matter what you've done, it matters, well, not necessarily who, but how many respect you. Not just within the business, but in as a whole, the fans.
And they all did. I mean, they all, if they had a chance to, would go talk to him. If they had a problem, they would go talk to him. I remember Jericho telling a story about how, the whole thing with Fandango, and he went back. He was the guy he went back to and said, "What do I do? What do I do? Vince wants me to lay down the Fandango at WrestleMania." And Taker looked him in the eye and said, "Do it. That's what you're supposed to. That's what he wants you to do. You do it."
I mean, I know a lot of people think Taker's just this intimidating wrestler core. Listen, he's probably only do that to people who need it. I think Taker's actually a legitimate nice guy. And as long as I feel like everybody, well, there's a few people that I've came across that I thought were nice. They were complete dicks. Like me and Robert E almost got in a fist fight, but I'll talk to that about that later.
Well, I mean, Shongo keeps all right. So Shongo, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to defend my boy for a second because Shongo has been trying to come on like 2 or 3 times now, and whether it be a bad internet connection or what, he's actually popped up backstage, popped off. He keeps popping on and off. I can't bring him on because he's not. I'll try right now, but there's no picture. But we might be able to hear him. Hey, that's what I get.
Yeah, it looks like it's just scrolling right now.
It's just like it's trying, and then he disappears.
Even his own phone don't want to hear him. It's amazing.
Tiffany, he has a bad connection. That's what I'm guessing. That's what we're guessing. We're rolling for it. And listen, I know Shongo. He's on Home Team Sports. I've had him on a few times before. I'm telling you right now, he probably feels terrible for not being on here right now. So, I hope he's okay.
That's what happens when you don't pay your cable, your phone bill.
but in fairness, I mean, this is the fight he picked. This is the fight he wanted, and
he's already lost the fight because he looks like a jackass right now. So I'm chilling.
Hey, well, I get you, but he's not home. Like we're all home, and he's not. So we have Wi-Fi, and he doesn't. I don't know where he is. Like,
hey, maybe he's going back to the underworld to get some souls. Maybe he's gonna take my soul away from me. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
Yeah, right.
Wait, AJ, do I need to step in and do Shongo's part? AJ, you don't want to mess with Urban Legend. That's all I can say right now.
You know what? AJ, get on here because I gotta talk to you too. Get him on here.
You want AJ on there?
Bring him on here, Mr.
I can make that happen. Now, listen, the thing about AJ is, number one, he's on my other show on Tuesdays called Home Team Sports. Number two, he is a collegiate wrestler all throughout high school. He was one of the top guys in the state, but he's a huge fan of professional wrestling. It's something he toyed about doing, but he never really stepped into that ring, into your world.
You're talking to a former Golden Gloves boxing champion. So what's your point?
I no disrespect intended. I was just telling you who you're talking, like who it was.
Oh, I better start running then.
Did you expect anything different to happen?
I expect nothing less from Urban Legend. The Urban Legend always.
I'm the best pound for pound athlete in the world.
All right, we'll see if Anthony Joseph can come on here. Like I said, and listen, The opinion, I'm going to make the disclaimer right now, Keith. The opinions of Anthony Joseph do not affect the opinions of we at Around the Turnbuckle.
I'm anybody who wants to jump on.
Oh, man, Spitter's running his mouth, too.
Spitter.
TJ Spitter, yep. He's the host of one of our other podcasts, Spin with Spitter.
He's that rapper guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's that rapper guy, right?
Yeah, he just had a college basketball star on the other day, and he's got a special on Monday, I believe.
I watched some of his stuff, glimpses, not when yeah, he's cool.
You like him?
He cool.
That's kind of cool because him and Shongo don't get along.
I don't mess with a lot of people, but TJ, all right. Fuck Shongo for coming on here, little bitch.
You hear that, TJ?
Yeah, everybody likes TJ. Everybody who gets to know TJ likes TJ. You can't help it.
Better. I think I'm supposed to be on Site for Knowledge with Chrissy in a few weeks.
You are. I heard that. Yes.
I remember
She's
that.
going to talk about your motivational speaking.
Yep. I'm glad to be on there with that woman.
Oh, you'll love her. We already do. I love.
Everyone's going to start more rumors 10 seconds after the show goes off the air.
Come over to man's face when we mentioned Chrissy's name. I didn't say a word. He smiles ear to ear.
I know how your ass is.
Respect to Mr. Legend. Right. There it is.
Dog.
Thanks, TJ. All right. I don't know.
Hold on. What you want to talk about? Where are you going with Chrissy? Because you see how I want to brought a name up. What you about to say?
What I'm getting at is Keith here accuses me of starting problems every time somebody mentions Chrissy's name, and they get all excited.
You were sitting there one time being like, "Oh, you're doing over each other." Like you're trying to start.
Shongo does. Shongo flirts with her outright. No,
I mean, you know what? I'm a bit of a playboy. I don't blame him.
Can you motivationally speak Shongo into existence?
Hey, guess what?
It's good.
No, I can't motivationally speak Shongo into existence, but next time I wipe my ass after I take a shit, I'll say a prayer in Shongo.
Yo, man, I'm gonna hear. I know it. I'm gonna get a phone call at 7:30. Where he's apologetic, but also like, what the fuck, man? You guys are a new asshole.
I'm sorry I couldn't show up, but I had prior obligations. I had stuff going on. The tasty cakes fell out the back of the truck. Safe. We know your tasty cake fell out the back of the truck. We know.
He better not. Yeah, Tiffany. Hey, that's all I care about. I know he's working. I know he's driving a truck. I know he's in a bad internet area. It is what it is. It's all good. I hope he's okay, Tiffany. That's all I care about.
He's driving to the land of lost souls, like SpongeBob SquarePants. Trying to find King Neptune.
Yo, man. Now I sent the link to Anthony Joseph. It doesn't seem like he's got any balls either.
Does anybody want to get on this shit with me? This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. This is an open invitation. You're talking to the
look at that. He's opening the door to talk smack.
Anybody.
Nobody. Like, you know what I mean? Where's the JT Funks of the world, man?
The JT
he's watching. He was popped his head in.
He was. I think he just popped in to say hello. You know what I mean?
Maybe. If we say his name 3 times, though, I'm betting he shows up.
I was waiting. I was going to say Anthony Joseph again, and he pops up 3. You know what I mean?
Isn't this the guy?
No, I'm saying JT. I almost guarantee JT is like, Bloody Mary or something there, where you say his name 3 times in the mirror, and you just get that grin.
I don't know who she's talking to there. Who are you? Irvin's ready to deflate that Shongo ego.
You know why? Because he don't need ego because he has nobody.
Is she talking about you? Like, is she talking smack on you?
I think she's talking smack on
you. Who are you? Never heard of you.
I think she's speaking up for Shongo.
I hope she's not talking about me. That would have hurt my feelings. I was about to say something. I was about to compliment that woman, but if she coming after me, I'm a nice guy. I don't want to be that guy. Please,
gentlemen. What a gentleman.
Please don't do that.
God damn, man. I never seen it. Keith, we've never had a show fall
By
off
the
the
way,
rails this far.
Hey, by the way, Liv Morgan, if you're listening to this right now,
Liv Morgan.
me and you got a date at the Cheesecake Factory next week. I'm looking forward to it.
Wow. Liv Morgan, really?
I don't know if you've been looking at her YouTube, but guess who taught her how to make that banana pie? Your boy.
I can only guess.
I taught her how to make that crust. That was your boy.
So if Prince Shongo doesn't show, do I get compensation for the time I spent on the flyer?
Hey, you better get that workman's comp now. His ass ain't showing up.
That's the wife, man. That's the wife. Shout out to the wife. She makes great flyers.
Mhm.
Speaking of flyers.
Was.
Whoa. Speaking of flyers. The wreck from Jersey, Anthony Joseph.
Oh, there we go.
It's about time. What took you so long, kid?
What's up, AJ?
Hold on, my volume's messed up.
Yo, I'm so far off the rails now, Keith. I think I'm going to the South Pole on the Polar Express instead of the North Pole.
There we go. My volume was messed up.
Okay, how are you?
What's going on? You looking
This
for
is,
me?
Anthony, this is Urban Legend. Urban Legend, this is Anthony.
What's going on?
What's going on? Finally, I got someone on here, not that bitch Shongo.
Yeah, you know, I'll take your spot.
Now, let me give you a history here. Both of you have something in common. You both have debated Shongo on this show and on Home Team Sports.
I've actually stuck up for this guy for some reason.
You did. You stuck up for Urban Legend. You did against him.
I did.
So how do you feel now?
You know, I might have to take this guy out myself now, since Shongo can't do it.
Really? Really?
You know,
You sure you want to do that? You sure you want to embarrass yourself?
Yo, man, he's a Golden Glove, man. You're gonna take him on a collegiate mat.
you know,
You're gonna roll around with him.
Golden Gloves, huh?
Golden Glove.
Hey, you don't want to be in this fast lane, bro. I'm just telling you. Everything was fine. If you want to do the wrestling and boxing, the holds won't mean shit if you knock the fuck out. I'm just telling you. Yeah, I was gonna give you some credit, but since you want to be like this boy Shongo and come after me, and I was feeling nice. I was feeling nice tonight.
You were.
I was in a good mood. It's always some person that I don't really know that's coming after me.
Champions aren't nice. Champions aren't nice, bro.
What?
Who's that guy?
What took you?
Well, there's the guy that's gonna end you. So I'll leave it at that. Have a good night, boys.
Thanks,
Good
AJ.
night, Anthony.
In the dark, smile, look like a fucking weirdo. Say something.
You know what? You are so adorable. It's cute. It's so cute. You sitting up there with your little chin shaved up and smiling in front of all the little people and saying your little words and stuff. That's adorable. That's cute. See,
Hey,
I gave you
say
time
something
to talk.
different, bitch. You said this shit last time. Say something
Yeah,
different.
I gave you time to talk. You want to shine, you want to hang with me, so I gave you time to talk. Now that daddy's back, I'm gonna do things a little different. We're gonna do things a little different here, son.
Did you get
See-
kicked in the back of the truck? Did you pick him up?
I'm sorry, what? I can't hear
Did you pick your picture of yourself in the back of the truck? Did you drop a few?
No, see, I do real work. I don't get to sit there and cheese and play pretend.
That's your fault.
No, it's
I'm
not.
happy with my life.
It's not
I'm
my
happy with
fault.
mine.
Oh, I'm
consider-
very happy with my life. But see, you need to understand something, kid. When you call me out, when you try to get on my level, when you try to do the little things you're doing and saying the little jokes and ha ha ha, he, you don't amuse
You're
me.
right. You think
You
you're on
don't-
the level with me? I don't think so. You're not on my level.
What
You'll
level
never
are
be
you
on my
on? What level are you on? Who have you faced
My level cannot
that
be.
has been in
My
the
level,
same league as me? I think
my
nobody.
level will never be
You
reached.
face a
You
lot
put
of
your
guys
name-
who are past their prime. You face a lot of guys who've hung it up and then come back to do special events. You've never, and I mean never. I've watched you. I've watched everything you've done. You've never, ever been in the ring with anybody like me. So you
Why?
comparing yourself to me is amazing.
You're
It's
garbage.
absolutely amazing. See, you and guys like JT Funk think just because you got a little bit of ability in you, you can smile, you can dance, and do all the little flippy shit that
I
you
don't
guys
dance.
are up here and can take me on. I'm a different breed of animal, kid. I'm a way. You
What?
gonna really hunt a polar bear with a knife? With a pocket knife? That's what you're gonna
I've
do?
heard this shit before. Say something different, please. I've heard this shit from different people. I'm different.
I'm not.
Not
But
the
see,
same
the
level.
thing is, you've
Not
never
the
heard it
same
from
league.
me. You've never heard it from me. That's the point.
They're
You
just
might
like
have heard
everybody
from
else.
people that
That's why
you've
I'm not paying
beaten and
attention to this
that
shit.
you've laid down and that you've urban legend is still standing tall. You've never, and I mean never, heard me say stuff like this. Because I believe in myself. I believe in everything that I do. And I hope
Good
you
for
do
you.
too. I really hope you do too. Because
You know what I
lessons
believe?
get
You know what I
learned
believe?
in the ring.
You know what I believe?
Oh, please enlighten me. What do you believe?
If I believe
You
we're gonna
believe
get
in
in the
Santa
ring.
Claus?
Hey,
You believe in Santa Claus?
you know what I believe? Keith, Big Al. If Shongo gets in the ring with me, I'm making him my bitch. That's what I believe.
Kid, let me tell you something. If you and I get in the ring, your next line of business will be holding my pocket and working my corner. So let's get that straight. I will never be anybody's bitch. Ever.
You automatically my bitch.
That's cute. That's cute. That's
Shine my
cute.
boots for me.
We'll see who's gonna get fucked.
Fall in line
We'll see.
like the other
We'll see.
motherfuckers. Fall in line.
We'll
You know
see.
your
You like to
place.
cuddle? You like to cuddle? You like to cuddle? I'm gonna cuddle you real tight. After I'm done beating your ass.
Okay.
Stroke your head and tell you it's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna be
I'm
nice.
confused. Are they planning to
I'm
fight
gonna
or
be nice
fuck?
to you now.
I'm
It's
getting
And I'm gonna
always
lay in
somebody
the bed, give
It's
you a
always
I don't know,
bottle.
man. I'm confused.
you got a chance against me.
Huh?
Gangrel couldn't do it. Rodney Mack couldn't do it. What the fuck?
Gangrel.
What you can do it? I don't think so. In the dark ass truck. Looking like
Yeah.
you better go out of the bank.
No, because I'm pulling up to your house.
Where's it
That's what
at?
I'm doing.
You got GPS. You don't know where I live. You couldn't find my house anyway. It's too big.
No, it's too big. If I couldn't find your house because it was too big, wouldn't that make sense that I'd easily find your house
You know
because it
why?
was so big?
You gonna run out of gas trying to get to my house because broke niggas like you.
Nah, I got a company car, kid. I'm good.
Is Shongo paying for the date or is her?
Dog, there's no G
no,
on my
it's his
name.
street. It's his street.
There's no G on my name, TJ.
Pimps don't pay.
Tell him.
Pimps don't pay.
How many times do you say that? God damn.
Pimps don't pay.
Yeah, what?
I think
I don't know, AJ, is that which one? I don't know who that is that directed
you
to.
I'm
finally
gonna
got
guess
this
he's
is his
directing that
chance.
at
This is your
Legend.
moment. This is your moment. This is your moment. This is your moment. Please shine. Shine. Because the worst thing in the world to see is a star dim. I want you to shine. I want you to be as
My
bright
star will
and
never
beautiful
dim,
as possible.
It's always punk ass dudes like you. Well, with that creepy laugh, with the dark persona. I've seen a million of y'all before.
No, you've never seen me.
It's like, oh, you've never been to the ring with. I've heard that from hundreds and hundreds of people. You ain't nothing special. You ain't unique.
If I'm nothing special, then why'd you call me out? I must be on your
You're
mind.
just gonna be my
I
laundry
must
bit.
be on your mind.
To make
I'm
an
sorry, I
example
couldn't
out
hear
of
you.
you.
I don't speak bullshit.
To make an example out of you, like I'm going to do, and know I can do. You're not on my level. This level you speak of. Yeah, you could use some light.
Example.
Like you're talking to some of the ass right now.
Example. Let me
Let's hear it. What do you got to say?
how do I say this to you?
So you just stop stuttering, Mr.
Really understand where I'm coming from. You know what an example is? You put something on display, right? You wanna show everybody that you can beat the monster. You want to make an example out of me. Okay, that's cool. And like you, everybody said that. Everybody, bring the monster out. Bring the monster out. I'll take on the monster. I'll beat him down. Everybody said that. And it's adorable. It's cute. It really is.
I don't believe in monsters.
You believe in me?
I don't believe in fairy tales or paranormal books. You think you believe in me?
See, the thing is, I know you believe in me. I know for a fact you believe in me. Because if you didn't believe in me, you wouldn't be here. If you didn't believe in me, you wouldn't have said my name. And then when I showed up, things got a little too real for you. So
Too
now
real.
we're
Too
back
real.
to this.
What you talking about?
Oh
Too
yeah,
real? You talking,
things are
feel
real.
everything in my life has been more real than you. You talking
Here's
to
the
somebody.
thing. You know that little fairy tale your parents used to tell you when you're a kid about if you act bad, something was gonna happen. Like everybody has that little lore, like Baba Yaga, La Llorona, stuff like that. Consider me your boogeyman. I'm the thing up under your bed, kid.
You trying to play
I'm
mental?
the
You can't play
thing.
mental with me.
I'm the thing. When you cut out the light at night in your big house, that little spot you see in the shadow, that's me. That little doubt that you have when you step on the mic and when you go to say something, that's me.
Mm-hmm.
I am
You right?
everywhere.
Does that sound? That's cute.
I am
What chapter of your book is
absolutely
that?
everywhere. So
You ain't.
believe me when I tell you this. You and I, face to face, it will be a spectacle. It will be fun for me,
It
at
was fun.
least.
Yeah, it's embarrassing you. Yeah.
No, because you know what's fun for me? Watching a fly walk around when you pull its wings
There
off.
we go. The
That's
fly
fun for me.
top on the wall. Something different, please. I've heard that before.
You want something different?
Please, I'm begging
Okay.
you. This is horrible. I can't listen to this shit. I've
You
heard it
ever
more time.
you ever been to a butcher shop, kid? You ever been to a butcher
What's
shop?
your point?
What's my point? You said you want something different. I'm gonna give you something
What's your point?
real.
Just get to the point. I don't got
You know
time
what
for no
happens
damn
when
chapters.
they file pigs into a butcher shop? The first thing you do, you hit it in
Yeah,
the head, cut its
prime rib,
throat.
choice cuts.
Yeah,
Get to the point. What's the point?
you're the pig. I'm the butcher.
Oh, you're gonna
That's the
butcher
point.
me? You're gonna cut my insides out, put me on a skillet? Is that what you can do?
No, I'm
You
not.
know, this
No.
little
That's too
horror
cliche.
story bullshit you're doing, it don't phase me.
That's too
I'm the
cliche.
best actor in
I'm
the
glad.
world.
I'm
I don't got
glad you
time to
say that
play
now. I'm
no bitch
glad you say
sport
that now.
with fucking folk tale stories. I don't got time for it.
Yeah, yep, you're right. I'm a folktale. I'm a folktale that you've listened to your entire life.
It's not
I'm a
true.
folktale that you've
So
sat there and
whenever
no,
shows are
it's
running
not
again,
real. It's not
and
real.
whoever can get this book, please just get a book next year for love of God. Please, so I can just
Get
embarrass
a
this
book.
bitch and move on.
Everybody listening, anybody listening, bookers out there listening, get this to happen in 2021 because me and 20 of my friends are showing up ringside. Jesus God, you guys. You know,
Any match, we just need a venue.
yeah. I mean, I know we got COVID going on. We got the holidays coming up. I mean, geez, but I mean,
I got a present for him.
every time you
It's gonna be
guys
all
get
right.
on this show together, whether it was scheduled or not, there's just a tension there that any booker got to be a moron not to tap into. Keith, am I wrong?
No,
This is the only time.
no.
This is the only time I'm going to compliment this guy. Anybody who doesn't book this is a fucking idiot.
Yeah,
Because every time me and him meet on the internet, people pay attention.
they do.
That's another thing in wrestling, as people don't know how to sell shit. And that's what we're doing. That's what we do. So please,
I'll
somebody
be
have the
waiting.
balls to book this shit.
I'll be waiting. My
I'm
entire
always there.
my entire calendar next year has a special spot for you.
Hey, I already called a morgue number up for you to put you in there when I'm done for your final resting place.
There it goes. Shongo, before we let you out of here, when we started the show, we mentioned a man that you may have heard of named Pat Patterson. I'd like to get your thoughts on the passing of Pat Patterson this week.
It was tragic. It was tragic. The man was you got you got to tip your hat off to a guy who wrestled and performed with such a big secret about him being gay.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, toward the end of his life, he was able to come out and say that. So that had to be some relief off him. The guy was like, as a kid, every time I watched him, I was always entertained. It's sad to see him go. Like, I was kind of in shock when it happened. I was like, wait, what? You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I got a text messages from my son actually said, Dad, did you hear about Pat Patterson? It's not like he was going to tell me that he showed up on Raw and won the heavyweight title.
Yeah. I when I got the news, I was at work and I was driving, and then somebody called me up and they was like, "Yo, did you hear what happened?" Wait, what? He died? Really? That kind of blew my mind because I just watched that table interview that he did when he came out.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that. I'm sitting there watching that. Like, I know nobody's around. I'm clapping. Like, wow, that takes guts. That takes a lot of guts. You know what I mean? Like, especially it being in a very macho business like we're in. That takes a lot of guts. It's like the first guy who came out playing football. Like, it takes a lot of guts. You got to really put yourself out there for that. And then, yeah.
All right, so the one last thing I want you guys to speak of, this week, me and Keith hit a milestone, all right? And I want to start this off by saying thank you guys both for coming on tonight. Thank you especially to Urban Legend. No offense to you, Shongo, but for being here the whole hour and kind of keeping us going along there. And then Shongo, you showing up, you bringing it like you always do. So what I'm proposing to you guys is me and Keith hit a milestone this week here on Around the Turnbuckle. We started this show just a bunch of guys sitting around talking wrestling. And our dream was to start, having guests on like yourselves, meeting and getting to know you guys, supporting our indies. We got to go to these shows. We're still going to support our indies. We're still going to have – that's never going to change no matter who comes on this show or whatnot. But next Saturday, guys, we have Stevie Ray from Harlem Heat right here at 6 o'clock. And I'm jazzed. I know
Yes.
Keith is jazzed.
Yes.
How do you guys feel? Talk about you guys, any memories or anything about Stevie Ray or Harlem Heat in general. WWE Hall of Famer, got inducted last year.
It was amazing watching him and his brother perform. Like when I started, like that was kind of like a dream. As a kid, me and my brother would be pretending that we were Booker T and Stevie Ray. Like he was the older brother, and so he was Stevie Ray, and I was like short and skinny, so I was the Booker T. And watching the rise that they've had, and it's kind of a shame to me that they don't get mentioned a lot as far as when it comes to being like one
best tag teams ever.
Yeah, they don't get mentioned a lot, and it's kind of funny because you have to kind of go back to find a lot of footage of them working as a tag team. Because when they're in WCW, they worked tag team, but it wasn't as much. Like they were kind of doing. It was kind of like they were in between. They were in betweeners. They were like jobbers, but they weren't necessarily jobbers. You know what I mean? Like they would have some pushes here and there, but then once they split them up and they did the whole NWO thing, like that was kind of it for the whole tag team.
Yeah, and I mean Booker hit one way and he went the other.
Yeah. I listen to his podcast. His podcast is great.
Yeah, that's called Straight Shooting with Stevie Ray.
Yeah.
He's also been on several other podcasts. I've been watching him all week, trying to study up for his appearance. Urban Legend, what do you know about, or have you know about Stevie Ray and Harlem Heat?
I would just say this: as a black athlete, books and Stevie Ray definitely inspired me. I think at the time there were not a lot of successful black tag teams, and I feel like Harlem Heat definitely started something. So I'm definitely respect and I'm appreciative of what they did for people like myself, people like Shongo, because I feel like they were a big part in putting us on the map, as African American athletes. So when it comes to Stevie Ray books, I definitely respect them highly for that.
10-time WCW tag team champions, and now in the Hall of Fame. I can't wait to talk to him. Keith, how do you feel about it?
I mean, yeah, I'm excited. I loved Harlem Heat. When I first started watching WCW, Harlem Heat was one of those acts I saw, and I agree with Urban 100%. You look around at that time, you didn't see a lot of black athletes in WCW or in WWE. They were not necessarily pushed. Even when you got guys like JYD in the 80s and stuff, he was kind of a comedy character. He was an opening match guy. Here you have, two black guys. They have attitude. They're great workers. They're featured. They're winning championships. I mean, they're great role models. So I see what Irvin's saying about they really did kind of break through and bring something unique. And, having Sherry with them, sensational Sherry with
Jerry
them,
Martell, man.
I think opened some doors too because everybody knew who Sherry was. Sherry's going to hang out with these guys. There's somebody to pay attention to.
Yeah,
And then you got the infamous promo of Booker T that people always remember that. That was
you mean geared
I'm
towards
good for you.
Hulk Hogan?
Oh.
Hulk Hogan won
I
that.
promised myself and Keith and every other person that I will not bring that interview up on purpose. Just letting you know.
Oh, I'm chiming in and saying something about that.
Stop! No, stop!
I apologize. I'm chiming in.
You don't be apologizing because you're not. You don't need to
comments,
apologize because you're not going to do it, right? I'm telling you, you're not.
I want to see what he
I'm gonna
said.
be in the comments, and all you gonna see is Hogan. I'm coming for you. Dot.
No,
Leave it just like
and
that.
guess what? I filter every comment that comes through, so I don't need to put that shit up.
No,
I
just see that, and that's that. I thought this was an open forum. See, now you like going against the grain of your.
It's not a. Hey, if it's an appropriate comment, yeah, it's an open forum. But I have people trying to sell me how to get famous on these sometimes.
I think the funniest part of that entire thing was Booker's reaction after he realized he said it. Because he's
or Sherry's reaction when she looked over. She did a double take. Did
she
he
just
really
hugged his
say
head
that?
and was like, "Po baby,
Yeah,
it's okay." And he was like, "God damn it!"
And Mean Gene Okerlund was so cool about it, right? He was like, he stayed and he didn't laugh or nothing. He just
Mean Gene was a savage too, because I know he had a what the fuck.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, it's been a pleasure. Keith, we're geared for Stevie Ray next week, man. I can't wait. Next week, that is next week. Tomorrow, we have a guy who Shongo is.
We have a guest tomorrow. We should probably talk about him too.
We have a guest tomorrow that Shongo is familiar with. One Jason Gotti, from CCW, right?
Yep.
Among other, he wrestles for other
places. Yeah.
I've seen him in CCW. Keith and I saw him live in Marysville this summer. So I'm looking forward to seeing and talking with Gotti tomorrow.
For a minute there, I couldn't tell if Legend recognized him or was going, "What the fuck?" And then I think he settled into, "What the fuck is that name?"
Yeah, well, it's obviously it's what it is, right? I mean, he calls himself Gotti. That's he's an Italian. He's an Italian character. He's something else, but he's a good athlete. I'll tell you one thing: his in-ring work speaks for itself. He's a brawler. He's a big dude, and he's going to be fun to talk to. I guarantee you that.
And did you just suggest all Italian characters are mobsters? Damn it! The sensitivity trainer told you about these things.
It's called Jason Gotti. And have you seen his promos? I've seen his promos. He talks like he's gonna smack you in the back of the head right there.
Look, I'm part of time myself. Okay.
Yeah. You know what that means? That means if you're not a good lover, you're a good cook.
Legend can do anything and everything. All right.
Kids are cute. I like that. Kids are cute.
Gotti. Shoddy Gotti, whatever.
Yeah.
Just don't be like Shongo over here. Just stay in the lane. Don't come after your boy.
You got it, man.
I feel like you're making a mistake overlooking me. Calling out Jason.
Really?
Me first.
You're making a grave mistake. And
grave mistake. Why not?
Grave mistake. Because it's gonna be kind of funny how you're gonna call somebody out from a hospital bed. Like I don't understand how you're gonna do that. You gonna get the nurse to do it for you?
My name was mentioned because I think somebody said Shongo's not going to be happy that I'm taking his ratings, and you jumped on here and disrespected me. So I was answering you. The way I see it, you called me out because you feel threatened. I'm taking the spotlight. I'm taking the time. I'm taking everything that you own.
There's an expression, borrowed time. Right. Borrowed time.
What is it? What do you got for me now?
Your
From another
time's
book
up.
to read.
Your time's up. I gave you 30 minutes to shine and say whatever you want to, and then I showed up. And
Bitch,
it's
you're on my time.
amazing. It's amazing when I showed up, all the comments started popping up, and everybody's like, "Oh shit, here he comes!
You're on my
Oh
time.
shit, there he
Well, because
is!"
they
I'm about
tuned
to be
in.
Oh
on.
They
shit,
tuned in to see Shongo versus Legend, right?
yeah.
I'm a
Um,
tip
That's
They
what they
didn't. They
tuned
didn't
in.
tune in to see you just sit here and run your
Yeah, they did.
your dick kisser
Y'all pay to see me.
about
You're
a
just
whole bunch of dumb
a
stuff
featured
about
artist.
how you're great and how you do. I'm gonna take that tattoo on your chest and hang it on my wall when I'm done with you.
Are you sure? Listen,
Oh, I'm positive.
your name don't pop up unless it's attached to mine. You should be thanking me.
See, kid,
I'm giving you my
you
time.
messed up. You messed up there because my name's been shining.
Not without me.
My name's been shining.
Where I've never heard of you until
Really,
me.
really, because you got on this show and called me out. So
Out of all that, that's what TJ gets out of that. That's what I don't understand.
He's got a,
This guy was
got
just on
his
here.
those triggers.
All right, with that, guys, I want to thank Prince. I want to thank Prince Shango for showing up. I want to thank what?
Finally showing up 30 minutes
I
later.
want to thank Irvin Legend, who
Keep
is
sharing
going,
his carrots,
who
man.
is definitely in my humble opinion, Irvin Legend is going someplace, and relatively soon. So I'm delighted that he graced us with his presence. I want to thank you all for tuning in and chiming in with your comments. Be sure to catch us tomorrow night at 6 o'clock with Jason Gotti. Check out all our programs on 2M1L Media. This is the Big Alboski. He is Professor Keith. He is Prince Shango. And he is the Urban Legend. And we'll all see you next time on Around the Turnbuckle.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you gonna do, brother? Oh, yeah! Woo!